All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here. This is Wednesday afternoon, November 29th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm always losing track of my weekdays here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tell you what, especially coming off a day off like Thanksgiving, you got the half day from last week on Friday, so still a little discombobulated in that sense, but certainly not in terms of trading. It's been a phenomenal trading day, and I hope a lot of our students were able to take advantage of it. If not in the morning session, then obviously right now in front of us here. Actually, a very timely pop and halt on VVOS. So great to see John, Michael, Mark, Wendy, who had some great insight just before, great advice actually to one of our students, Chuck, and then a bunch of our other traders and students alike inside the Cyber Group room. And if you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., just at Cyber Trading You, just always look to make sure that you're followed and subscribed right there so you know when we're going live, when we're not, etc. So with that said, VVOS popped up just now and got halted. Stock is up a whopping 350 plus percent right now. So quick little recap here. Since it is halted, it should reopen up probably in like 1 minute now at this point in time. But what's the news? So news came out. This was even from like 2 weeks ago. They had earnings. So that's one thing, whatever. But then just this morning at 7:30, looks like VVOS bags their first ever FDA clearance for an oral device treatment of severe obstructive sleep apnea. So, I mean, hey, that's a hell of a headline, right? So, with that said, FDA approval, clearance, whatever you want to call it, and the first for this company. So, obviously, it's not just the traders that are buying this for like a long, because we certainly know here what goes up will come back down. Big trees fall hard. And with that said, this will eventually top off and really slam down. If you didn't think it would happen already, then obviously it's going to come pretty soon here, folks. Trust me. $20 is a psychological level to work off of. At this point, you could even say every $5, 20, perhaps after that, 25 even. Obviously, look at the long-term chart as well, just to see where the next historical price could be, if there is one. It does seem to be a little bit around this 20-ish here, actually. Here, look at this, back from October last year, and then it gapped up. It peaked at a high of 22.25 back at the very beginning of this year, and then before it took off. But just saying that 20-ish area, and still a little above it, could be some resistance. We'll see what happens right now off this reopen. But yeah, VVOS, I'll add to our watch list here for the afternoon. Just with it up so much already, and the spread's ugly, and the order book is thin. For our students here in our chat board, I would nickname this type of stock a gamble stock, meaning how much higher is it going to keep going? Well, hey, if you want to gamble on it, I would trade small shares, like 1 share, 10 shares. If you're normally doing 1,000 shares for a $15-$20 stock, then probably lower that to like maybe like 1 or 200 shares at most. So yes, you could do this on tiny position size. Just do it very intelligently. I would always put your seatbelt on before you pull out the driveway. You know what I mean with that? Set your stop tight as soon as you jump in the trade, in case if it goes against you, right? It's what we always preach in class. So with that said, VVOS, I'll add this to our list here to begin. And well, if my math serves me right here, as I've been flapping my gums, this should now be a 10-minute halt. A normal, kind of protocol is from where it gets halted, you add 5 minutes. That's typically like 95% of the time, it's a 5-minute volatility halt. So that indicated what, like 2:33? Well, it's already 2:34 right now. So actually, this now should be projected to open up at 2:38 Eastern, a little after, and I'll keep this running on my heat map here. We'll come back to this in just a moment. All right. All right, so we do have class actually coming on up this afternoon at 3:05, wrapping up the Phase 1 stock course. And make sure my voice is good to go for that. So let's just go right from top to bottom here, see what we can put on our watch list for the afternoon. Probably need to fancy the scan here. No? Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see what we can get. Bivy, right from the top. This stock. Ooh. Oh, no, pardon me. I'm on the loser side. Okay, I thought I was on the gainer side there to begin. That's why I was like wondering. Didn't see VVOS there. All right, so gainer side to begin, as always. So PACI now. This thing is not looking too good on the chart. It's like one of those special purpose acquisition corps. I've seen the statistic. I don't have the number like specifically in my head, but let's just put it this way. Like the overwhelming majority of SPACs that come out, special purpose acquisitions that come out, like have gone to crap. They have totally tanked over the last, what, 2, 3 years, really, since like they started popping out of the woodwork. So, that one flew up today, but very thin liquidity there. BGLC, nice pop on this one. I actually really like this trade here. So even for a dollar stock, be careful of the spread. It's thinning out already, I'd say. You'd want more people to join the order book heading into this afternoon, but it's moved up a lot so far, and perhaps more to go. It's not really 75% definitely is a lot for one day. But again, just go back to what we've been trading over this past week. It's been a hell of a week so far already. Just VVOS speaks for itself. So, if this can make a higher low, let's see if we can get the higher high by 3:30 in the afternoon, just about an hour from now. But yeah, BGLC, I like it here too. I add this to our list. Got 2 minutes until the reopen for VVOS. And we keep it moving. So, BMEA pulling back right now. This thing had a nice pop, though, it looks like. Move up today, I guess I should call it. More of like a steady pop at first, but then it was more like a choppy, consolidated trend upward. Rover's a buyout here. Just want to show this because, I think like one of our students brought it up in the room. It's like, there's no point even typing it in. It's just a distraction to all of us here. Otherwise, get nothing on this stock. The more that you watch that stock, the more that you miss out on opportunities like this. GameStop here. GameStop ended up making the move that we were looking for it to make yesterday afternoon. So we followed this actually pretty nicely in the late morning. We caught this a little later on from the initial pop it made. So we were hoping for a better run heading into the market close yesterday. Looks like it got in the final 10 minutes, but that's it. It popped more in the after hours, and then obviously more to come here from today. So ended up breaking out pretty much around noontime off the highs and ripped right from there. So GameStop looking pretty strong. Now, let me ask, about 3 years ago, of course, this stock ran with AMC and Bed Bath Beyond, Express, if you folks recall. Who was here back then in the Cyber Group room? Who was here back when GameStop and AMC made that, meme stock run, as we had nicknamed it? All the viral stocks back from social media back like 3 years ago, it was 2 years ago, it was, right? Bill, Phil, Michael, Grant. Yeah. So, what you're getting yourself involved with these types of trades. I mean that in a good way and a bad way. Obviously they fell back down over time. This is GameStop here back in late 20, early 21. So if it made that run back then, obviously this being a monthly chart, but why can't it make a fraction of that type of move on an intraday basis? And especially looking at the daily chart, it made some historic runs on a daily candle. Why can't it make a fraction of that move, if anything? So that's how we treat it. This is a really nice move here so far. It was from yesterday, and there could be more to come. So definitely going to add GameStop. But we know what happens when, the foot's taken off the gas pedal, right? Ah, crap, Bill, I mistimed it. I had it up on my book map, but I got excited by GameStop. Bill just getting it to me, getting to it before me by like a second. Yeah, VVOS just popped up and reopened a massive gap up off the reopen. And with that, it looks like it's heading up to 25 now. It looks like we're getting close to. All right. Shoot. I mean, right now, I don't even know if I have this up. I do right here. 25 is your next psychological level. We were saying $5 incrementals at this point. So in the event where it popped up higher, 25 was your next price. Look at that. Looks like there was a bit of an order that was sitting out there during the halt and just hit it. Be careful for the drop off here soon. I don't want to wish that into existence, but we saw it happen earlier today, right? So history is going to repeat itself over time. You know it. Hell of a pop. But be careful now at this point. Just, again, when a stock gets halted on the way down, bad news. All right, there we go. So, GameStop. Now, as I get back to my GameStop trade, pulling back down a tiny bit here, but we're still going to keep it on our watch list for right now. And then with that, AMC moving right now with it. Obviously, AMC popped back in, late 20, early 21 with GameStop at the time, virtually. It's up 6.5%, but it's definitely making a sharper drop off right now. So I didn't really see as much correlation even from early this morning, although they both moved up. I thought GameStop was a lot sharper of a move up. Guess we just got halted again. On the way up. Oh, it looked like it was about to get halted. This thing is still pumping. Holy smokes. Yeah, Bill's saying sleep apnea, big business. Yeah, I guess so, but you would figure, wouldn't there be like, I mean, what makes their device or drug, whatever the hell it is, what makes it more special than the others? you know? And that information obviously we're not privy to, but it's obviously a hell of a push. So hey, we wished it into existence to a degree. It's not as easy to just take as a trade, but just we saw what happened with TPST and a bunch of these other moves from even earlier this week and earlier this month. Been a hell of a month so far. So yeah, right now the order book is thinning out even that much more right now at this stage. I would be more patient waiting for a move on this stock. And that means, hey, if it ends up moving without you upward, it makes a sudden pop. It's like, crap, I missed it. It's like, again, we're here to like trade this on very tiny share size. So you have better chance and better opportunity on GameStop, on BGLC, hopefully more as we continue to go through. And I say more opportunity because you're trading more shares compared to the 10 or 100 shares, whatever it may be, on that type of like casino type of stock. All right. As we keep going here, though, yeah, like John, small shares, he says. So he got like 2.5 points, but that's a nice trade. I'm just saying you don't want to get stuck watching that type of move should it pop without you, and then you're left like kind of just stuck watching that confused. And there's other trades moving. This OTLY as we just keep going right now. Cheapy stock, but look at this thing. It fell off from $30 back in 21 all the way down to mere pennies. So this is the perfect type of trade the Fausto loves. Got beat up over time. It actually has really good liquidity on the book. I like it. All right, we got one here. We got Tupperware here making a little push up just up until like 2 o'clock. A little shake back down. Maybe I'll put this on our side list here again, come back to it later on if we need to. But, maybe tomorrow we'll check back in on it again. Foot Locker, not really much there. All right, just going to run the scan again here, folks, if you don't mind. We got a lot of time until class. I want to jump in even a little early, just make sure I'm prepped up, get my screen sharing, probably go over a couple of things in the phase 1 class, even before we start rolling at 3:05. A little extra credit, we'll call it, before class. So PTON, up about 6.5%, like similar to AMC. AMC still pretty weak off that last shake. Peloton's like trying to eke up a little bit, it seems like, over the last bar or two. I'll put this on the side also with Tupperware. And then we're pretty much at 5%. So if there's anything else, folks, looking good on the way up, just type it in the chat board here. Definitely let me know right now. And then now I will go to the losers list, which I had up before. Oh, I got one that joined the list. View. We'll take a look at what that chart is there in just a bit. Bivy, though, down 61%. It was down that much more earlier today. I'll be very straightforward with you folks. We say it all the time as well. It just, proves my point. You can't focus on everything. You can't be the all-knowing, all-seeing. And I mean that in terms of like every stock making every move at every point in the day. I'm being very as honest as I could be here with you. I didn't even know this was down 61% until right now. I haven't even looked at the losers list today. So I've been hyper focused on Mara. I've been hyper focused on Hood from the morning session, not as much now. And just recently that VVOS, right? In GameStop. So, hey, like I didn't even care to check the losers list myself today. Bivy, it was down big in pre-market. It could have been a nice squeeze up. And Fausto, of course, himself put it on the morning watch list. So did it pop a little bit? Not until like 9:45, 10 o'clock at that. And then from there, the wheels fell back down, or wheels fell off, and it fell back down pretty quick. So, yeah, this type of trade definitely cooked now. I'm not too interested in this whatsoever. FTCH. I was gonna say this thing. I thought we had this. It was on our watch list yesterday, 24 hours ago. So again, just going back on the different watch lists that we post day to day, it's like, I barely remember what I have for breakfast, let alone, just stock XYZ that we ended up just moving on from today. So another one, FTCH, this was actually on our list yesterday afternoon, popped up pretty nicely. By the time we did the meeting, we were hopeful to see a higher high. Um, Little did I realize that they had earnings, I believe, heading into the, if not after hours, in the morning. So let's see. Oh, get a load of this. So FTCH, and again, this is my first look at the news right now on this. Pretty ignorant to the news on this one here up until this point, but uh, FTCH says, and this was from 5 o'clock yesterday, that they were decided not to announce their quarter three earnings. Why? Just leads to ask why. How bad could it possibly be? So let's see if there's any follow up here this morning. See from 926, company trading lower after it announced that it would not, announce their quarter three results. There's no other headline involved with it. I don't see any other follow up on it. So, we'll find more out over time, I guess. But yeah, that should be the typical result of a company being like, yeah, I'm deciding on passing here on this one. I didn't even know they could do that. I mean, I'm sure they're delaying it, not just like deciding they're not going to announce it. But yeah, that's no bueno, my friends. That's not good. So yeah, led to a big drop off overnight into this morning, and right now at $1, it is damn close to the ground floor for us. So even with it being shortable for us here, there is zero motivation for us to really follow that type of trade now at this stage. If it was like a $3 stock, then maybe. Huh. Speaking of like a $2, $3 stock, woof, shortable. It's actually near the low of the day. So, do I put this on our watch list now? It's a little flat here since 220. It's been about like 25, 30 minutes nearly since then. So, and in terms of direction, I mean, maybe it could drop off a little lower, but it's just a slow trade. There's zero, real, reward trying to follow that type of trend. This a little bit easier on the eyes in terms of a trend down. Big drop heading into noontime. It's getting close to that low of the day right now. Looks more sharp on the way down. Just the order book, I wish it was a lot more filled in. Not even a little bit more. All right, I kind of just skipped that there. What was that? PDCO. Yeah, same deal here. Kind of just, a little lower high. I guess you could say trying to pull back, but I would rather see like a faster trade on the eyes. Just a faster trade on the chart, something making a better move. And that's okay if we don't get anything from the loser side here. We got four stocks to work with at this stage, folks. That crazy VVOS. And again, if you are not gambling on that stock today, then you got GameStop, you got OTLY, BGLC, a bunch of trades that you can make a lot easier of a decision on as far as knowing where the iceberg orders are, knowing where the big levels are, etc. TWOU, my favorite stock. I always like to show this. Um, I'm a little lazy right now. I'm not going to show the. We actually did this recently when it ended up gapping down here. I showed it, but back from like 2016, 2017, the stock off earnings dropped like 65% in one day, and it was solely off an earnings report. That's it. It was like the largest drop I've ever seen directly off earnings. So yeah, they've only been dropping down since. All right. So, hey, folks, last call on stocks that are actually going to look to trade. Let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you'd want me to look at before we call it. Got a ping from Benzinga Pro on CDT. It's inching up, but order book is paper thin. Bitfarms trying to go back up. Mara's been a great trade across the afternoon off the opening print. It had a nasty little shake there, but did just hold off of it. 1240 on the nose. So that's what we would want to see. And, right now, this isn't doing like really anything too special for us to put this on our list now. Again, they didn't really move yesterday afternoon at this time. We are hopeful to see Clean Spark and Coinbase pop. They didn't really do it. So, not looking great there. VVOS halted again. Oh my God. And on the way up one more time. Would you believe it? Oh man, so another break over 25, and yeah, obviously now let's just break out the chart one more time here. I think I'm gonna go back to like its IPO, but obviously that was pretty far away back when it was at like 40 bucks, 70 bucks, 90 bucks even. This bottomed out back in July now, you could say 27.25, 27.50 here, 27.75, kind of just that area. And then what's this here? Yeah, would you look at this? This is the next level as far as the daily chart. So the prices that we spoke about so far, we spoke about just around $20 from the daily chart. Well, it broke over that, gapped up way higher. Okay, well, I was saying after that, focus on your $5 incrementals. It had a damn tough time trying to branch off from that $25 level. Well, it just did now. What's our next price after that? You could say 30, next $5 price. But let's go back to the chart. And that's where we were saying just now, pretty much around that 27.50 will loosely estimate it to be loosely because it's within 25 cents of each other. So, basically 27.50 is, approximately that price to watch, which is well, where it's at now. So let's see what could happen here. It's a crazy ass trade, isn't it? VVOS. So if anyone's in right now from like 20 bucks or like not even that, you can't be in from 20 bucks, but if you're in from like 19 bucks or 18 bucks or look, congratulations, you are in from a healthy price. You could have a little educated fun here this afternoon, right? Not even gambling. You could just have some fun. You're in the profit so much, even if you shave some off, you're happy, right? So congratulations to anyone that caught this, but to anyone else that didn't, don't just try and dive headfirst into the deep end of the pool. You're going to get your butt kicked. Trust me. And I don't want that to happen, but much more often than not, that will happen. So, OSA. Let's try and find one or two more if we can that could add to our watch list. Looks like this OSA stock may have just got halted here right now, like live. I don't know what the order book looked like just beforehand. If it's very thin, I wouldn't be a fan of it. So for right now, I'll slip this on the back end. OSA just got halted, up 49%. Looks like today trading just north of 1 million shares. And if we have a filled in book by the time it reopens up, then I'll definitely be a fan. VTVT, the stock definitely did some sort of reverse stock split. Not looking too great there. RDHL trying to go back up one more time. Look at this. Another little, bounce back up, I guess you can call it. It hasn't broken lower, right? So if it hasn't broken lower yet and tanked, should we put this on our list? Well, hey, if we don't have a big watch list, doesn't hurt. It has great volume on the book, tight spread, or at least, if anything, great volume on the book. Spread could always open up a bit, you could say, but you know, overall, it's something that we're familiar with now at this stage. At this point of the week, so I don't mind adding it. It's actually still up like 18, 19%. It's got to make a strong break over the VWAP price at 278. That's actually the same price you got at 22,000 share order on the ask right now. All right, Chuck in from 22.53. There you go, man. Nice. Made enough on the stock today to gamble on it almost reaching 20. Hey, well, at this point, especially from earlier, right? And it's not like 9:30 in the morning, is it? Oh, shoot. It's like 2:54 already. We're running thin on time, actually. Well, it's to say, this isn't the only stock that we were trading today, the VVOS. So if you made your money even on other trades like Chuck did before, he told us, uh, then either way you could have some fun, right? But if you haven't hit your goal yet, if you're not, in the profit by a healthy margin just yet, if you're at zero, I would not encourage you to gamble, at least at this stage on this trade. But that is not Chuck. Chuck has done very nicely up until this point, even furthermore on that VVOS. So congrats to Chuck. Very nice. All right, folks. I think that's going to wrap it up. So we said that we had Tupperware and Peloton on the side. Unless if they were going to break out right now, we're going to pass on them here. So not breaking out, I guess, but Peloton making a recovery, bouncing back up a little bit more here the last couple of minutes. Order book really isn't too bad right now. It's actually not too liquid, which is something that I normally wouldn't say too frequent. But you know what? folks. If you are Bill, Grant, Gary, Wendy, Michael, or any of our students joining us here inside our trading room, folks, I look forward to seeing you in class coming up in just a bit. Otherwise, folks, we're also on social media. Look to follow us at Cyber Trading U. Just give me a quick second here. Test 1 2 1 2 should be good to go right now, right? All right, there we go. Slight little break and gap in the audio right there. Looks like small little tech issue. Got to figure that out. But back on, just to wish you folks best of luck trading heading into the market close. But for all of us joining us here in class, Rich posts the link, and I'm going to jump into that class right now to make sure I'm squared away. So look forward to seeing all of us there just pretty shortly. Talk to you soon.